Oh, hey, ho, here, wow. How's it going?
I don't know. It's drinking before 5 o'clock. What the world's coming to.
Yeah, well, I've been there for a little bit, so fine. But I go
Yeah.
to bed earlier.
No, that's been well established.
If you're still awake, you're listening to episode 41, the first episode of season 5, for those who keep track. John and Phil have a beverage and talk for a while, and then there's a song. Sometimes they have more than one beverage. Anyway, here's the show. Enjoy.
Oh, no.
No, I went to work today for a few hours.
Yeah.
It was nice. Nobody there. Did some things.
Did you go to the cafeteria and hang out?
No.
Every now and then, in the old days, pre-COVID, I'd meet John at where he works and go to the college cafeteria there and get all-you-can-eat,
Stuff.
kind of stuff, yeah, food. Sody pops.
Yeah, college cafeteria.
I don't remember ours being all-you-can-eat, but I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think my undergrad one had it. Or at least some of it. Yeah, I think it was. It was a, similar kind of setup.
No, we had to go through a line and he had like 2 choices, and that was it. And Lee would always complain that everyone was looking at his food when he'd walk by.
Well, that's a long time thing of his.
Well, he was one of his things, which was a good point, was like, you have the same thing I do, or 1 out of 50% of you do. So why are you looking at my food?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not a legitimate societal concern.
It is weird, but he did seem to be. It did seem to bother him more than other people.
That people were scrutinizing your food. That you're sitting at a table with other people, and you glance like, is their food better than mine? Or did I get something better than theirs?
I don't know. I don't know what his problem was with it. Stop looking at my food.
Put it on the topic list for when he comes back. No, he'll never come back. No, I don't know. We went and took a afternoon trip to the local DQ.
Oh my. Is that one of the grill and chills or just the ice cream part?
This is an old school. They don't have any indoor seating or anything like that. It's just a shack.
Hey, they were prescient.
Yeah. Actually, they seemed really well equipped. They had some plexiglass, on the other between the area where you talk to the employees and they make the food.
Oh.
And yeah, it seemed pretty well set up. It's one of those older family-owned outfits that they don't have. I think they have a couple of, like they have hot dogs or something like that. That's about the only non-ice cream food they do. So it's not a full-blown grill and chill.
No, that was kind of a later thing.
Yeah, no, this is old school. Also, no drive-throughs. So sometimes there is a drive-through one in our area, but the last time we tried to go there, the line of cars was just obnoxious.
People want their ice cream.
Yeah.
I scream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream.
This time I was like, no, let's go to the small one and see how that goes. And it was great. So I had a dipped cone, which is one of their old things.
No, chocolate or cherry or butterscotch.
None of those things. I had
what?
An orange one.
Oh, orange.
Like a dreamsicle.
Yeah,
type
all
one.
right.
So an orange shell on the outside and vanilla ice cream or ice milk, as I think it really is.
Yeah, right.
The thing about those dip cones is that they seem to have a certain balance of hardness and temperature and everything that it's hard enough, but also that the ice cream doesn't kind of melt and it cracks while you try to eat it too much and makes a mess.
Yeah, they got some weird kind of chemical balance there, Pentagon experiment. I don't know. maybe it was a military ice cream thing that they tried. But remember, for a while there, when we were kids, there was a thing that you would pour on ice cream that was like a shell.
Magic shell, yeah.
Magic shell. I think
that's the stuff. Yeah,
maybe you can still get it.
Magic shell gasoline, and no, that's just shell. Sorry.
Put some oil on your ice cream.
That was the secret, is petroleum.
It probably has. It was also in conjunction
I don't
with
know. I don't want to
Exxon.
know what chemical makes it happen, but for some reason the temperature has to be right and everything, because sometimes, again, the stuff just comes to pieces before you get halfway through it. And
no, that's like life.
This one was just done perfectly. It didn't really start to break up until I was almost down to the base of the cone.
Okay.
And that was made by professionals. Like they had, the ice cream was just the right temperature and consistency. I don't know. I mean, yes, it's basically kind of a crunchy baby aspirin kind of flavor, you know.
Hey, maybe it helps lower your blood pressure or something.
Yeah, they could put
decrease your heart attack risk.
aspirin in there, and
but it may also cause erectile dysfunction.
oh god, yeah.
No, but it depends on where you put it.
This trip came about because why not talk about this?
Okay.
A few days ago, we had a hankering for some ice cream, and that's when we encountered the long line at the DQ.
Oh, sad.
And we abandoned our search because it's not that great.
But then it stuck in your head.
Well, it did. But so we decided as a backup we'd hit McDonald's and get an ice cream there.
Oh, sure.
And
Was their machine not working?
It was working.
Oh, okay.
Something was up with the ice cream. It's like almost like it had been over churned or something like that. It was almost kind of lumpy.
Oh, weird.
And it had a weird consistency.
So maybe the machine wasn't working.
Modern McDonald's ice cream, it's whatever. I think is much more chemically, and I've heard that they put some stabilizers or some other kind of stuff in it to make it melt slower.
Well, they put stabilizers in their staff, so it's okay.
Yeah, right. It's all drugs.
So they work faster.
Yeah. So anyway, that was so unsatisfying that we had to have a do-over.
There's an ongoing joke here over in the West St. Paul page where they're always complaining about the McDonald's ice cream machine is broken, they say, but people are like, they just don't want to clean it. But I don't know.
I'm sure that's probably true. I've usually had that happen on those annual times when I want to get a Shamrock Shake. Have we talked about? Yeah, we've because you'll always mention Irish Grimace, and
maybe we have.
I'm sure we have. But half the time, I'm sorry, the ice cream machine's broken.
No, that's really sad.
Now, to be fair to these guys, I'm usually in the drive-through trying to get one of these at, say, 11:30 p.m. Now, they're open all night, so whatever, people. But I suppose if there's any time, it'll probably be then.
They're essential employees now, too. Isn't that interesting?
I think, there's a lot of talk about restaurants reopening and things and how unsafe it might be for all the employees that have to come back and work in the kitchens and everything like that. And how is it okay right now, even for all these fast food places that are doing drive-through and they've got all these people crammed in there cranking out tacos and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not, I guess the people aren't in the business. Is that the difference? I don't know. I'm not an authority guy.
I mean, they're not interacting with the public really. That's not the danger, but they could still. It's like these poor people that work in the meat processing plants.
Yeah.
As if that wasn't an awful lot of job as it is, but the conditions where they have to.
Well, Trump will make sure that the meat is gonna keep coming out.
Yeah, they're essential.
Well, you said you were going to get a beverage earlier. What were you? Did you get one?
Yeah, so I am drinking. Well, gin martini, shaken.
Not stirred.
With
okay.
Yeah, I wanted a cold one, so I shook it up.
Well, I'm just having whiskey on ice right now, old granddad's, not bottled in bond, but I did get some rum the other day because it was really warm. It was like 74, and I thought, oh, I need a rum drink. And so I made a Cubra Libre. And I made, you can do other things with rum, of course, but I did a rum with ginger ale and lime, which isn't quite a dark and stormy. It's a light and stormy, I was calling it, but I don't know if that's a real thing or not. I just tried it because I had some Vernors. But tonight, it's just whiskey and ice because, like I told you earlier, I had a rather large filling fall out today. That was very exciting.
Yeah, pause on that for just a moment.
Yeah,
because I know you're anxious to get into your teeth.
I don't know how to get. That's it. There's the title.
Yeah.
How does one get into their teeth?
Yeah. Tools. You mentioned Vernor's. That's the ginger soda.
Oh, it's Michigan, I think.
Yeah, so it's interesting that, and I've obviously seen it when I've traveled into Michigan and to a lesser extent, Wisconsin. That's a regional sody pop.
Well, my wife's from Michigan, so she gets that.
So the interesting thing about that pop is that
Soda.
It's pop.
Sody pop.
We recently watched the TV show Parks and Rec, right? As I mentioned a few episodes ago.
Did they bring up Vernors?
Well, they never mention it, but it's in a lot of the scenes. Like you see cans of it sitting around constantly.
That's great.
And that show is supposed to be in Indiana. So I wonder if that's maybe that's part of the region, the Vernors empire.
Yeah, we always had to go through Indiana to get to Michigan, so who knows?
So it might be, and Rob Lowe's character at some point moves to Ann Arbor.
I forgot he was in that show.
Oh, he's just, it's one of the best things he's ever done. Not kidding. He's great. He's very funny.
I believe it.
Yeah. He plays this kind of manic, crazy character. It's really funny. But anyway, so lots of Vernors being just the set dressers have it. They're eating lunch or all sorts of random places. You see cans of it there.
Interesting. So that is a weird kind of product placement.
Somebody made or knew enough to put that in there apparently.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that is one of the things I really enjoyed about that show, is that, and this is a little bit of a pet peeve, is it's not the soda, is that it's a sitcom that doesn't take place in New York or L.A.
Oh, good point.
Which seems
it's no 30 Rock.
Yeah, right. And of course, we've been watching Kimmy Schmidt, which is a very New York City based. I mean, yeah, that's part of the plot, basically. So that's fine.
That's a good point. But, well, like we always say, you write what you know.
And I think that's where a lot of the writing is going to on there. But it's also the fact that, well, a lot of the people probably live in those cities that work on them, and it's easy to shoot.
Yeah.
Because unlike in the old days, they actually shoot a lot of things, at least partially on locations now. Whereas in the golden olden days, you would shoot everything on sets, and then on a special episode, they would go outside.
Where was Parks and Recreation filmed, though?
Well, that's a good question. I should look that up.
Why don't you look it up while I'll be right back. Oh, you left too, huh?
No, I just went quiet.
Spacing out.
So you must have switched to something other than Granddad, right? I heard a cork.
Well, yeah, I didn't have much left in that bottle. Well, this is Wild Turkey 101.
Oh, okay. So Parks and Rec was filmed in California, even though
It was set in Indiana.
yeah, it's set in this small to medium sized town in Indiana. But yeah, it's obviously the inside stuff's probably mostly done on sets.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, though, it's about somewhere other than those cities.
I don't think I've stopped. I think we just drove through Indiana. I don't think I've ever actually stayed there very long. But it seemed very industrial. I don't know. Isn't that where Kurt Vonnegut's from? I think he's from Indiana.
Sure.
Oh, speaking of the number 5, Slaughterhouse 5, Kurt Vonnegut,
Yes.
when my wife broke down and she couldn't get to the library for a while because they were closed. Now they're doing curbside pickup or something. But she likes the World War II books, and she was looking at my bookshelf, which I was like, oh, she's really digging. But she picked Slaughterhouse 5. I said, well, it is a World War II book, but it's kind of different.
Marginally. It's
And-
Did she care if you had the American or the English version?
No, I thought that was Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I'm making fun of that of our episode that actually hasn't been published yet.
Oh, it's 2 episodes ago.
We're
Wow.
it's close now. Trust us.
We're time jumping.
We
well,
are.
by the
We're
time
we're unstuck in time on our production schedule.
By the time they hear this one, there'll be the Bruce one. So this is actually
which I'm actually editing right now.
This is season 5. This is the season opener of season 5, Slaughterhouse 5 season. I know you're like, why do we have seasons? But it's kind of about
Especially nowadays, right?
It's just a way to
I don't even know what day it is.
put the number of songs together. No, that's true.
I know you have a method. It's fine.
There's a madness to the method.
Yeah. So anyway, Phil, you had an incident with one of your teeth.
Well, I had a large filling fallout today. It chipped last week. A part of it came out, and the rest of it came out today. This one's been problematic, as it was, but I don't know if I can go to get it filled right now because of COVID. Are they even seeing patients right now?
So I've heard dentists are doing emergency service. So I don't know if this counts as that
I
or
don't
not.
know if it's going to count it or no. I got a huge hole in my teeth. It
Yes,
hurts.
that can
the whiskey
hurt.
helped.
So I've got one tooth.
John has one tooth.
It's tooth talk.
Tooth Talk with the Tooth Talk brothers.
No, so I have one tooth.
John has one tooth.
A long time ago, I had a filling in. It was a molar. That's usually where they seem to happen.
Sure.
And-
molars.
And then it needed to be redone at some point. And so
Yeah. Touched up.
this one they drilled it out and put a new.
No, they
filling
have to
in.
make a bigger hole. I
Yeah,
know.
so they got a bigger hole.
Oh, I don't want to go back in.
And then that one started to get bad, and then they had to dig all that out and put a crown on it. That's kind of the final destination.
Yeah.
Well,
I
the
don't know.
final destination is probably the tooth comes out altogether. But
Sure.
this is kind of half of it is fake now, and so they have to dig out a lot of the tooth. That was after 2 fillings. So are you on filling? Which phase of the
See,
tooth story are you in?
The problem, the tooth story. The problem is I'm a teeth grinder. Boxism, I think it's called. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I actually am missing a couple teeth.
Ow.
And yeah, so I'm afraid I don't know what they're going to do because I can't just keep. I mean, at some point I won't have any teeth, I guess, and then I'll grind my dentures. This got me thinking though about because sometimes we talk about movies, and maybe I don't want to talk about this because it might be painful, but I was thinking about movies that have dentists in them.
Yep.
I suppose the most famous one, of course, is Marathon Man, but
That's the one I would think of first, for sure. Maybe
is
we
it
should
safe?
explain briefly, or I will. Up to you.
What? It's a World War II movie.
Well, yeah.
Do you mean talk about the movie?
I'll mention it briefly. It's a 1970s thriller starring Dustin Hoffman and Roy Scheider, I think, is in it,
Sure.
and Laurence Olivier, who plays
Yeah.
a Nazi dentist who is in hiding in New York. And it's not just about dentistry, but
No.
it's actually really good. I haven't seen it in many years, but I remember it being great. But it's very basically at some point it has to do with Olivier's character being paranoid about being discovered by the Americans and stuff like that, or being hauled out for war crimes or whatever it was, and he and his goons abduct Dustin Hoffman's character and torture him by going at his teeth.
To extract information.
Yeah. Horrible torture. And
Is it safe? Oh.
and he keeps repeating to Dustin Hoffman, "Is it safe? Is it safe?"
No, that's...
And Laurence Olivier is so good. I mean, he's just creepy, weird, and
Yeah.
it was one of his last movies. I think he was quite old, but he really, really nails it.
Oh, he drills it.
He drilled it a lot.
Well,
No,
Dustin
the scary
Hoffman
part
was
is
good
he
at that
did not
too.
use drills. It was like all hand tools or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah, even worse. I guess. Well, okay. The funniest one probably is Pink Panther Strikes Again. Remember that? Where I don't. So Clouseau is goes into the castle of the Mad Dreyfus, and
Former Inspector Dreyfus.
yes, former Inspector Dreyfus,
His boss, who was driven insane by Clouseau.
and goes into this castle, which is just getting into the castle is hilarious. But I think that's probably this probably is the best Pink Panther movie. But anyway, he gets in there and he has this weird disguise, of course, and had to cough. No, I had to cough. I muted myself while I coughed, and then there was a awkward
No,
pause.
that's great. I appreciate it.
Oh, I know, but then that was awkward. Well, but you made some wind. That was okay. So anyway, so he goes in and he's because he's got a toothache. Dreyfus has a toothache.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be. He impersonates the dentist that's supposed to work on Dreyfus's tooth, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
In this, well, it wasn't just a castle. It was their like evil. What's the term for a place where evil people live?
Lair.
It was
Hideout?
his lair. Sure.
Yeah,
it was his
it was
lair.
a castle, and he had this giant gun,
Bavaria
laser
or
gun,
something.
or something. Yeah.
And he gets whatever. Oh, what a funny movie. Anyway, but the scene, people have seen it, I suppose. But the nitrous oxide, and they just start laughing, and he's drilling. Yeah, you got the wrong tooth. And they're just laughing, and his Clouseau's nose starts melting, and oh my god.
Yeah, and I think at some point, because they're just giggling hysterically, and Dreyfus is like, "I'll kill you!"
Yeah, right. I think you were right on pitch. No, you were in the same key, but that oh my god, that's one.
That's
of the
a good. I
funniest
hadn't
ones.
thought of that one. That's a good one. So another one I had thought of, mentioned
Yeah?
this, besides Marathon Man, is Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, that's right. That was a
Steve
movie.
Martin.
Frank
Is this
Oz did that one, right?
He directed it, yes, based on the Broadway musical.
Sure. Yeah, I was in that once. I played Mr. Mushnick. But
I can't believe you didn't play Audrey, though. Audrey 2.
it was a repertory theater, and I'm not saying no. I think I could have done that, yes, but the person that did it did well as well.
Okay.
But it was kind of a thing where I had already had a couple pretty good roles, and
No, that's fine.
they couldn't give three roles to people.
It has this musical number Steve Martin sang in the film version. I think it's just called "I'm Your Dentist."
Yeah.
And like it has all these puns and things like that. I thrill when I drill a bicuspid. And,
It's a torture thing.
Yeah. He gets off on it, and people will pay. You should be a dentist. People will pay you to be inhumane.
Bill Murray. Isn't Bill Murray
He's the patient.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that.
Really lay it on me or whatever he says. Yeah. Oh my God. But that isn't. No, there is a dentist in the play.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, because they changed stuff for the movie version. I should remember it because
Were you ever played in the pit on that one?
I played the pit for that show in my college years.
No, it was fun. It was fun to do.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it has so many funny lines in it. Then they have the little doo-wop girls singing alongside, and
yeah,
they yell, "There he goes, girls! The leader of the plaque."
Well, the nice thing about a smaller one like that, when you're in a repertory theater, is it's just really nice because a lot of the musicals or plays or whatever are huge, everybody's. But it's nice to have this one little thing that you focus on with a smaller cast. One year I was in Fantastics, so that was kind of like that deal too, where a nice little more intimate kind of thing as opposed to Oklahoma or something, or the Music Man or whatever.
Yeah, those big tentpole ones.
Yeah, it was a nice reprieve. Did you know Steve Martin played a dentist in a different movie?
No, it doesn't sound familiar to me.
Well, he was in a movie called Novocaine. And that was what was that about? That was a tragic comedy thriller or something or other. I don't think it got very good box office whatever money. It didn't make much money. There you go.
Sorry, I'm eating my olive.
Olive.
That's a good olive.
Oh, well, we could talk about olives. Where'd you get your olives? I like those blue stuffed olives or blue cheese. Blue stuff. It's got a Smurf in it. No, I got the blue cheese stuffed as I get older olives to put in my martinis. But
I go standard large green pimento or red pepper stuffed.
Oh, sure.
I make sure there's no brine in mine. I think we've discussed this before, but
well, time to brine.
Time to brine, yeah. That we were talking about turkey, I think. No, I don't like to taste olive brine in my martini.
Oh, and so, I like mine dirty. That's fine.
I even rinse the olive out.
Oh my God!
With water before I make it.
I rinse mine out with gin.
And I can, they still taste. You can still taste them.
Oh no, I'm sure that's plenty.
It's good enough for me, but
I have some garlic stuffed olives that I've used also sometimes.
Okay, I'm always mindful of my future breath.
Future breath.
Yeah, there's a good one. Time for future breath.
Well, now I did make a martini with that 45th parallel. What was that? Oh, shoot. Referendum? No. They have like a horseradish liqueur or vodka.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Reverence? God damn it. What's it called?
Referent.
Referent.
Yes, I just said that.
What's that word mean, referent? I'm going to Google that. Lime and Coca-Cola. Referent means that thing that a word or phrase denotes or stands for. It's a word that talks about a word. It was referent, I guess. I don't know.
that like the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio wrestles a bear? Isn't that the one?
Yes, I gotta Google that. We can't just spend the whole episode Googling
the Reverend.
things.
No.
Oh, Reverend,
Remnant?
maybe.
No.
Remnant? Remnant? Oh, I thought of another dentist in the famous show.
Yeah.
Hermie.
Yes. I mean, that should have been.
I want to be a dentist. Hermie!
It's the Revenant.
Referent.
Revenant.
He wrestles.
2015 with what's his name?
I think.
Caprio. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think he wrestles.
There's a bear in it, I think, though.
Yeah, that must be some kind of weird homoerotic thing. I don't know. Is it symbolism?
One more reference on dentistry, and there's an episode of Star Trek: The Original Series.
What, with a dentist?
Where Doc Holliday was a dentist.
What? I don't remember this one. They went to the Wild West?
Yeah, they go to a planet and they have to recreate the OK Corral stuff.
How weird.
It's called Spectre of the Gun.
So Doc Holliday is the dentist. Actually,
I think he was
weird.
one of these all-purpose doctors. Did many things.
Sure.
And
you have a bottle of whiskey and a horse they'd tie a string to a horse and the horse would run away and yank your tooth out.
Yeah, because there's always like those old-timey Western sets, the dentist / barber or whoever. And it would be like, shaves and teeth pulled. And yes, you pretty much just have a bottle of whiskey and good old days.
The thing about, I made a joke about that to my dentist, and I'm not sure she entirely appreciated it, but this area where my filling problem is for some reason, it's very hard to get it numb. The nerve is weird, whatever. I get a weird nerve.
You got a lot of nerve.
And at one point I was just like, I think we're just going to have to go Old West on this thing. Just give me some whiskey and pull it out, And she knew I had a weird sense of humor, but
well, you don't want to let that person go then if they can get past your sense of humor.
I don't know. I think dentists have I won't say inherently a good sense of humor. Some of them have interesting names. Like one dentist I had was Dr. White, but there are other ones like.
Was he also a meth dealer or meth cooker? Sorry.
Wow. Pearly White. Maybe his name was Pearly.
Or Walter White, yeah.
They had, there was another dentist whose last name was Pullen. That was a good one.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I didn't have that dentist, but I heard of it.
Rapid City, our family often went to a dentist named Dr. Zill with a Z. And Dad always called him Dr. Zill and Phil.
And that reminds me of the drive-through dentist, which we may have talked to.
We have mentioned the drive-through dentist, which dear Sean's former residence there, which we thought was hilarious. The idea you drive through and they would yank a tooth or.
Well, they did have a weird little window that you could drive through. What was that for? I wonder.
I think it was a pharmacy or something.
Also. Well,
probably not at the same time.
Oh. I don't know.
That's an odd one. Dentists. The dentist I've been seeing for many years now is just fine. He's just unremarkable. Dr. Fine. Yeah, he's not even. Yeah, he's just. I can't remember his. It's just a generic kind of a. It's like he's. I hardly ever see him. Basically.
Now I was upset.
He just walks in and takes 30 seconds and looks around in your mouth like, well, everything good. Okay, well, see you next time. Bye.
Well, yeah. Because of my various tooth issues over the years, I've got to know my dentist a little bit better, but.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Still, that does suck, though, seriously.
Then we had to switch Insurance, I still haven't figured that out. It's a weird time to switch, Dennis, because
See, I think that's something Bernie Sanders should have gotten on to. Never mind, Medicare for all,
universal dental.
dental for all. Yeah,
Maybe he thought that was covered. I don't know.
I suppose.
I was flipping channels the other day, and Hillary Clinton evidently endorsed Joe Biden. So there you go.
Flipping channels?
No, I know. That's not really what I was doing.
Okay. No, I saw that too. There's something odd about that. I don't know.
Odd?
Of course, they both were like at different times said, "Boy, I wish you should be president right now instead of Trump."
Well, right. Either.
It was kind of this mutual, like, boy, either one of us would be better than him.
Bleach injecting weirdos.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm nervous about what the fall is going to look like because nobody knows. And
Well, as far as our jobs, yeah.
well, our jobs and
Gigs.
a lot of music and stuff. Everybody's waiting on that, and so
'cause
much.
we don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't know how things are going to go and how they're going to figure things out. I mean, I just don't know how long people will stand for it.
Well, that's two different things. There's what we should do and how long people will stand for it are two different things. And I think in Minnesota, I think our governor is trying to find some middle ground there. Oh, he's going to have some more announcements tomorrow, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, and I'm not complaining about that. I think
Oh, no.
our area is doing the right speed, and it's okay for the next few months. We can all handle it. It's fine, but there's going to be a point where there's going to be serious consequences, and I think we just have to figure out some way of doing it safely. Or I'm not sure how ballroom dancers will handle it.
Well, they could all be tested before they go in.
Yeah, if they have these instant tests, or they all have to wear masks, I'm not sure.
That would be interesting to watch.
Or some of these clubs, the couples just dance with each other. They don't do this thing where they trade off all the time like some of the gigs I do.
Swingers.
Swinging music, yep. And a one and a two.
Well, now, because of my theater background, I do know people that are making masks because they were in costumes and now they're doing this instead. But I've been able to get some masks, so we'll see. I can't ballroom dance, though.
Well, I choose not to ballroom dance. That's why I play an instrument. So I don't have to.
You could dance with your bass.
Yeah, the cord gets tangled up, though.
Wireless. Well,
That's true.
there you go. So this is episode 1 of season 5. How about that?
We've been at this quite a while. I'm impressed.
I don't know when we started. 100 years ago.
When we started the Beatles. Oh, we got sued for copyright. No. It's been fun. I don't...
Are we trying to recollect or reminisce?
We should make this into a clip show.
I've been clipped. No, I think we both been clipped.
Yes, actually, it's true. That was too much information.
No kidding.
Let me look at our topic list. I'm.
Oh no, maybe we're done already.
We might be done. You've got a toothache.
Oh, my tooth. I should probably eat something. I can't just have whiskey and not have dinner.
Yeah. Some of these are too involved for us to get into tonight.
Well, why don't you talk about a show you just watched?
A show I just got finished up watching is called Ozark.
Oh, did you watch that?
Yeah, we just watched
Is that Jason Bateman?
Yeah, and Laura Linney.
No. Okay.
I
only pay attention to male actors. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I'm kidding.
It's actually really good. It's not the feel good show of the year.
It sounds pretty crazy. Is that on Netflix?
It's one of their originals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it should be on there.
Yeah, I think
Ozark?
three seasons worth.
Are they done, or are they going to keep going?
I haven't heard if they've officially re-upped it for another season, but the way it was left, I think they're planning to.
Yeah, of course they will, right? If they can film them.
I'm guessing they're going to do one more season would be plenty. I mean, they're 10 episode seasons, so they're not super long anyway. But
They don't overdo it.
it's very well done, and it again, speaking of things that don't take place in the usual spots, since this one is filmed and takes place in Missouri,
Right.
It's definitely it got a different vibe to it, and it's a little different than a lot of other shows that I've watched, and the supporting cast is good.
Well, isn't he like a money launderer or
Yeah,
something?
he launders money for the cartel because he gets into some trouble because he was legitimate.
Yeah.
And he gets kind of trapped by some business dealings his partner was doing or something like that. And he gets sucked into this world and moves to the Ozarks to partially to get away from things and be
To
further
try
away
to.
from the authorities. But he also finds out that it's a good place to launder money, apparently.
Okay.
But he's like this really smart accounting guy. And he and his wife kind of build up things, and it's kind of fucked in a way, and they have 2 children, and it's
so it's a
and
family show on top of it.
They move into this this house that this old eccentric man lives in, who rents the house out to him and stuff, and he's really weird. It's good. I really recommend it. Very much R-rated, of course, but
I've heard good things about that one.
yeah, I wasn't sure at the beginning, but it stayed very good. I like it.
Slow burn.
It's definitely a slow burn.
It's more like a smoker.
Yeah, it's a low and slow. I don't know. I'm still working on my watch old movies and write blog entries about on my away at that.
Well, recently you mentioned Cat People, which I watched also.
That's right. I remember you'd watch that. The 1942 version, yeah.
Yeah, well, the one I watched first, of course, was the Cat People with Malcolm McDowell and Nastasia Mentinsky.
1982, I want to say. Something like that.
Oh, and that David Bowie song. Oh, I love that song.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I don't know if the movie holds up, but I think the song still does. I should watch that one again. But yeah, so I went back and watched that other one, the 42.
Right.
And, I mean, of course, totally different, but...
Well, yeah, a lot of things are very much implied. Because they didn't have budget to do anything very explicit.
And the 80s version was more kind of a incest sort of thing, but whatever.
Yeah, that's Paul Schrader also did that one. He's a little messed up. But yeah, still working on those.
What about Cat People 2?
Yeah, there was a sequel to Cat People.
I think I started that one. I think you have that one also, but I think I started watching that one, and I don't think I could finish it. I don't think I finished it.
No, it's probably not great.
Well, that lady has a kid or something, a daughter that it also
Cat
is having.
children, yeah.
That's what they should have called it.
Kittens.
Kitten people.
I don't know. I'm playing my PlayStation 4 every year. I'm very gradually getting better at shooting bad guys in the game I'm in. Even though it's on easy mode, I still die all the time.
We're too old for video games.
Yeah, I know. I'm so grateful it has an easy mode, and
even then,
when you get killed, you barely have to go back much at all. So it's pretty forgiving.
That's good.
If
Some of those
really,
games,
if you're really skilled, you can play on the hard mode. But
screw that.
No, it's a long game. I mean, I've played hours on it. I'm only halfway through it or something like that.
What was the name of that one again?
Uncharted.
Oh, that's right.
And there's 4 of them.
Let's see. What have I been watching? To be honest, just we got BritBox. We got 7-day trial, which we're probably past that now, unfortunately. But so we've been watching Monty Don's Gardening World, but also the Roku channel has some shows too, which is interesting. They have like Barney Miller, which I watched the first part of the pilot, and I didn't even know the guy had a wife, but whatever.
Funny.
I didn't finish that show, but let's see what. Oh, there's like there's a real estate, one of those real estate shows, which tiny home something.
Oh,
like,
the tiny house thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's one of those. We're watching that, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But time to watch.
So
Yay!
well, you should go take some Novocaine.
I guess I should eat something like mashed potatoes and
T-bone.
no T-bone tonight. I ain't got no T-bone.
Yeah, I made so much pork shoulder.
Oh God, that looks so good.
We're making Mexican out of it tonight.
Oh God. And then you got those bear claw things.
Oh, okay. The bear claws are pretty sweet. So what this is when you get to shred meat.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you need bear
vegetarians,
claws.
but you I've done it in the past with forks. You know, you can.
Oh, it takes forever.
Yeah, it takes a long time. Your hands and wrists get really sore, and
That's a lot of work.
and our friend of the show, Paul S.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah, I witnessed him shredding up a bunch of meat with these big handled claw things. And I just thought, that is slick. And I finally got around to picking up a pair. They're actually called Bear Paws.
Oh, bear paws.
Bear Revenant Paws. There you go. See, look what we did. And these things are great. You know, they have hand grips, kind of like brass knuckles or something, you know?
Yeah.
And you grab them and you just
Wolverine.
you can shred them, and they're made out of plastic, but they're very sharp actually.
Oh, even the points are plastic?
The points are the whole thing is plastic.
Oh, weird. Okay.
But they're quite sharp.
Huh? All right.
And they did a real number on this stuff. They really shredded it up, and as a side benefit, I discovered they actually make really good back scratchers. Bonus, not advertised on the container.
Back shredders.
No, you have to be very careful. You could probably break the skin with them, but
I don't. Yeah, I've never made like one of those kind of half a butt or whatever, but I remember pork tenderloins to make pulled pork or something, and you get a couple of forks, and it just takes forever.
yeah, and I had to do it with chicken before too, and it's the same thing. It takes so long. It's just it's the worst part of the cooking. So I highly recommend these tools to do that, and really, Phil, you could make this on your Weber. You just have to.
Yeah.
You just get some wood chips, and you just have to keep making sure the fire is at a certain temperature and all that stuff. But you don't have to have one of them fancy
No, I know.
Wi-Fi pellet grills.
I might have to only buy a third of a butt. All right. Well,
That's all. That's all I have. Plenty.
Well, this took my mind off my tooth for a little bit, so thanks, John.
Good.
I think the whiskey helped.
It usually does.
Okay.
Well, I hope you feel better, man. Good luck with the tooth.
Well, people have been telling me about these things you could get at the drugstore, temporary fillings, and I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Here's the song!
The Pentagon. The Pentagon. The Pentagon is the headquarters building of the United States Department of Defense. The Pentagon is the world's largest office building. The Pentagon was built on an ancient alien graveyard. Automaton and the Monacon Indians spoke of the aliens burying their dead in this location. Neither tribe would set foot on these lands. In addition to the dead, the aliens buried technology. Since the 1950s, the Pentagon has been conducting experiments using this alien technology. The Pentagon. The Pentagon. Early experiments include an underwater toaster, a banjo with 300 strings, and a small green pill that can turn into a red one. Later, the Pentagon experiments evolved into more insidious things, like mind control for penguins, water clear, and sleepy time lemonade, a regular stick that could turn into a walking stick, and 3D sunglasses, and a pencil that would melt your face if you wrote the word bunny backwards, an exploding bowling ball, and the cowbell. The Pentagon